Okay, my fucking internet disconnected. Oh my god, that's so annoying. All the Windows updates and everything. Huh, okay. Okay.
Hold it!
Okay.
Hold it! Hold it! Well, no.
Okay, there we go.
Ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown into a clink.
Okay, now we got something. Got something to say, buddy?
Excuse me.
Excuse me? You got something to say? There's something wrong, Mr. McGilded. Yeah, I had to fucking press her statement again. Oh my god. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, I don't seem to see any contradictions here. That's because I had to press her goddamn statement again. For like the third time. I think that was my third time. Yeah, that was my third time. Oh my god, this game is more sneaky than others. There's something wrong, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Consul?
I'm just wondering if Mr. Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself.
Oh, no. 'Twas nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad. Shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so it was.
I see, yes. I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now.
Aye, I don't know about you yourself, but I find my sight of the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe.
Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps?
Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. But Jabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp.
What a pity. Probably Mrs. Lestrade has heard something. It might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? It's important, because we literally don't have anything else to work from. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she had nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, You will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please.
What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do, and well, it won't work on me.
That's right, insult the judge. Always a good move. Okay.
Hold it!
I'll press that just in case. So you were strained to hear what was happening the entire time, since the moment you hid yourself.
Not exactly, no.
Sorry?
Well, there was no one else in the cabin to start with. Could just push the cushion up and have the butchers to see what was what. But then, when I saw this swell getting on, I got my head down so he didn't notice me.
And Mr. McGillis sat on the seat you were under which you were hiding, correct?
Yeah, would you Adam and Eve it? Yeah, what a mug. So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he? No, likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stand put and listen to I'm driving his pigs to market. Snoring like an old dog he was.
Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? Let me double check. No one in the cabin to start with, yeah. I saw the swell getting on. I got my head down so I didn't notice. Saw the swell getting on. I got me. Oh my god! A bot in my goddamn stream. It's like every single stream. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. There we go. And bot be gone. Alright. But then I saw the swell getting on and I got my head down so I didn't notice. So she's saying that she saw another person get on, which was probably the brick man. So this is what getting on got my head down so you didn't notice me, and just listen. Mr. Strahd, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts.
Ah?
At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Von Six realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGillis snoring. But think, Rionosti. Think. There's something else she should have heard. There's something else she should have heard. Do I show a person or show evidence? Show evidence or show a person? I'm just gonna do a funny and save first. Because all she heard was snoring, right? That night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGillen snoring. Do I show evidence or do I... Oh, I clicked on it. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by this following piece of evidence. The body, right? The body falling down. This one?
Take that!
No? It would seem that phantoms are at work again, this time in my Nipponese friend's ears. Ah, damn it, it's not. No sound is apparent to me at all. Oh, yeah. No. While she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Miss McGillen's snoring. There was something else she should have heard. So I guess I show a person. Very well, my lord, allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that night, Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of this following person. Yeah, because the scream, thump of the body. I know he first screamed. This guy, right?
Take that!
There, yeah. So I was supposed to pick the person. Thrice-fired Mason! Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade could not fail to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, Consul. Oh, I thought it was just the body falling down, but okay. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct?
Yeah, of course I was. Got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I?
And the next person on to board the bus was Mr. McGilded.
That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight.
So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time.
Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure.
And, from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all?
Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for this swell to leave.
In which case, when and how did the victim end up with the carriage? Ah! We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts.
Ah!
Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed.
Lord Von Zeeks.
Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrange's statement. It would seem the words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more.
Is that right?
I will the words may not have more than an omnibus.
No such whatsoever. This girl is a bit wrong.
Ah, shit. She didn't even say anything.
I didn't want to judge the little mite just because she had some rather naughty ways, but I must say, I can't abide liars.
And neither can I.
Mr. Foreman,
I didn't want to judge the girl just because she had some less than salubrious ways, but I must say, I cannot abide liars.
ah, shit, not again. Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nibonese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing.
Dark! What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Abaddon? This is carnage. It's perfect.
Juror number 2 is the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going... I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. Matilda's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept our truths.
Hold it!
Hold it! We're not doing that minigame again! Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed an inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying?
Consul?
I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean?
Consul, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my abjuration. Explain yourself at once.
When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand.
And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? Van Zeeks must die a little inside every time he hears "hold it." There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was in there already, there was another entrance. He was put there after he died. I don't think there's another. No, because the skylight cannot be opened. It looked like it was already fixed in place, so it cannot be another entrance. And there's only just the one door, so that would be impossible. And we weren't given an option to look under the carriage, so don't think that's an option either. He was put in there after he died, then she would have definitely heard the door opening. So then, the only option seems to be he was in there already, but the question is, where the fuck is he? Where the hell was he? He couldn't have been inside the compartment. Because I don't think there's another entrance, because we already looked at the carriage from top to bottom. And the only way inside is the fucking door. and it can't be if he was put it there after he died, because otherwise you would have just heard the door open anyway. She would have heard the door. So he was already in there. Clearly, he was in there already from beforehand.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that clearly in your last sentence?
Huh?
Well said, Lord Von Zieks. This clearly is troubling me also.
No. That's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been in the carriage from beforehand.
Then answer me this. By beforehand, to what specific point in time are you referring?
Well, clearly, Oh no, that was the wrong answer. God damn it. God damn it. Okay, no, that's not the... Okay, the game had me for a moment, so... Okay, how would there be another entrance? He was put in there after he died? I guess? Maybe? Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after he was killed.
Tell me, my learned friend. What was the function of that obviously in your last statement? Okay.
What the hell?
Is this it? How could they have been put inside a moving carriage?
Well, obviously, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So wait, there was another entrance? Where? Where? I looked at the carriage like several times. What entrance? Oh my god. There's another entrance? I already looked at the place. That's all. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wonder what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, and the other only has only windows, fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered.
Oh, really?
Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. So it isn't actually from the skylight?
Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Okay, I'll save here.
Oh my god, yeah, it really is gonna get looked at several times.
Here's the omnibus in which the incident occurred. Where on earth is this entrance by which you propose the victim entered the cabin?
The skylight? Because it cannot be from the storage compartment, because otherwise she would have mentioned something there. So the skylight?
Take that!
Yeah. So wait. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. Oh, so I was right earlier about that skylight, apparently. It looked like it was fixed in place, though. I say, the skylight!
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost had me lost for words. However,
Objection!
The skylight may be well large enough for a person to pass through.
Objection!
For someone to pass through.
so you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addled brain theory?
Both Mr. McGilden and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from his seat on the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witness described? A loud noise, loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible.
How can you be so sure?
Because if the victim had fallen inside the skylight as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony.
Well, yes, that's true, but...
Right a humble fella. Make a wee comment here.
Mr. McGilden?
To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified before said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that it's not much of a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say.
What?
I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Hurr!
Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof?
You mean the one? You mean the ones who stuck that knife into the man were?
Ah!
Oh, they're back.
Guess what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer?
You rotter, he said. You rotter. What are you insinuating?
This is a flaming outrage. I've got a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay.
You're effectively accusing me, a sea gentleman and a well-respected banker,
And me, a very angry hatter.
suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. I protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right. I protest too. How about you rotted scoundrel?
Order! 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 This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once.
But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous.
It's very hurtful, you know.
My lord, if I may comment.
Go ahead, Lord Von Zieks.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof.
accused. I never intended to.
It seems, young Nibonese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimidated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, it is what is termed a baseless accusation.
I know I was rushed to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought.
What are we wasting time for? Let's get to testify.
I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow.
We have to see this man through now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo?
The spectators in the public gallery are... They're in a complete frenzy.
Mr. Fairplay, Mr. First.
My lord?
You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense.
Yes, my lord.
I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward.
Witness testimony. Refuting the accusation.
We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that.
If anything had happened while where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't have possibly opened it.
If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof?
I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith.
That's right. You see,
we're innocent, I tell you.
Although logically, of course, the argument falls if the two of you were in collusion with one another.
what?
According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings.
Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich.
Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. But so why do I feel so uneasy?
Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord.
Refuting, yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna save.
So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck?
Absolutely not, dickhead.
No question about it, he said. None at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here.
Is this true, Mr. McGilded?
Dear me, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That is an outright lie. Without doubt, you were engaged in. Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all?
Ah.
'Tis all about evidence, of course, these days, so it is. You do well to remember that.
I saw you! With my own eyes!
This is going so well.
Hold it!
Well, it was the one on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It was certainly had been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly.
Is this some kind of luck?
Is this some kind of a joke, he said? Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly.
Are you fair dinkum, sir?
Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you.
I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open that again.
That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked.
I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies. I didn't hear ye at all.
That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone.
Now, 'twas a cold night, so it was. You do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising.
Seeing things. Seeing things! Oh yeah, the door was supposedly locked. I forgot about that point.
I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point.
You...
Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm the suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about.
This is the competition I should like to be involved in, really.
Hold it!
So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before.
Oh, lamb, no! Not once, never!
He never met the man before, he said. Never. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either. That's right, sir. That doesn't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir.
No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin.
Something to say, buddy?
Excuse me!
Mr. McGilded?
Yes, Consul. What can I be doing for you four?
Did the witness' last statement give you pause for thought somehow?
Not the remotest connection. Is that right now, I wonder?
What are you insinuating now?
Ah, Mr. Fairplay, it has been too long, so it has.
Huh?
If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe it is fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date.
I beg your pardon?
You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir.
At an inconceivable rate of interest, you tricked me. It's extortion.
Well now, is that such a big grudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off on another?
Ah!
And, young Mr. First,
Me, sir? What do you want of me, sir?
you do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding on your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it?
I'm still just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door.
The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch.
Customers, such as Thrice-Fired Mason. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence of fall, my lord.
Huh? Oh, this, you mean?
Oh, is that one of his hats?
I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say?
Oh! That's one of my hats.
Aye, That it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer, I wager, you could have had a wee quarrel with this over distinctiveness of the goods.
Oh no, sir. Absolutely not, sir.
Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case.
You little weasel. Ah!
He's better at this than I am.
Gosh, Mr. McGilden has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me little interruption hold up the proceedings.
I got an achievement, Hat Hunter. For having identified the milliner responsible for the victim's hat. Oh. That was for an achievement, I guess.
Please don't let me little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the Skylight was shut the entire time?
I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute.
He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute, that's what he said.
Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see, it's fast shut now, just like it was on the night.
Oh, there is a latch on it. Okay, so it can be opened.
So it is. Of course, a fellow of the size of Mr. Mason could lightly break through it and still and all.
What?
Just look at the size of the thing, you understand.
Ah, now you hold on. Now you hold on a minute there. There a minute, sir. The size of the ting means nothing. No, that's on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we?
Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens.
This is an unexpected confession, Mr. Forrest.
Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as a rogue. As a rogue, I did. Rouge, I did.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be open. I tried and tried when I was inside the cabin of shame. Oh?
Excuse me!
Excuse me? Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Strahd? Mr. Strahd.
It opens.
Hmm?
The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right?
Oh god, no, please don't shoot it again.
All them skylights open. Dead easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon. That is a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind,
You can't do it from inside, you mug.
Oh.
Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck on one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I had bursts coming out of my ears.
Mr. Strahd, this is not the floor to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't top off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through.
What?
Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin.
The skylight opens from the roof deck?
Bailiff! Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims.
Got it, boss. Alright, does it open? It opens, okay.
Ah!
Oh my head.
See?
Order! 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 So, it It appears that the street girl statement is quite true.
I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for.
Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. So, the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Alright, here we go. Here to re-investigate the goddamn evidence. Okay. Alright, let's take a look-see again. It's kind of hard to see the little latch there, because it's kind of blended in. So the skylight was fastened shut before. But now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp inside. There's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. So do I go inside? Do I go inside while it's open? So do I look up in the skylight now? Oh, there it is! Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? I'd have to kick someone like you through in it, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look! Just here! Look at this! Blood. That's without a question. It's blood. Why would there be blood stain? Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, it can't be related to the case, can it? There we go.
Where's your proof?
First, I gotta save just in case some bullshit happens that will cost me my only life left. Alright. Alright. Where's your proof? Okay.
Objection!
There we go. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof. Remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom.
What? That's utterly humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence.
No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof. Here in this courtroom.
Counsel?
My lord?
I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is the evidence to which you allude? You will point out what is it that proves the victim fell through the roof deck through the skylight.
Here we go.
Got it!
Got it!
But Jupiter, is that blood? Ow!
This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open.
What?
And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my. And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime.
Order! Order! Order!
Hold it!
Oh, they actually gave a voice line for fair play saying hold it.
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin.
It only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would have been very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I?
But... There's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell at the skylight, I mean.
Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First?
Yeah. That splotch of blood on the floor.
'Tis all too plain if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from the fair height. Right there, so it is.
What? No!
But it can't be, it's all
No!
My fellow jury members, I think you can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, yes, sir. Yeah, I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now whether filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they?
I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful part couldn't have done such a thing.
Yes, right, Granny.
On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
Shit.
Chilling performance, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks?
A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void.
What? Why?
For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage, at least not until this trial began.
But are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was
Fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session.
What? God damn it.
What a palaver! I must say I didn't expect such a crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take idly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I'm well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the facts? What does that even mean?
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut tut, Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. Wait it out, Counsel.
Huh? Oh, no!
I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood of the skylight didn't exist, you say? But, if you will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the court the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, Council?
It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time the court has been in session.
My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words.
As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think... there was a gap, the smoke bomb. The smoke bomb. As a defense lawyer, my job is to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility.
Oh?
Good gracious. Explain yourself, Council.
Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit.
Deceit.
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What's going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus.
Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten, feckless gouger?
Feckless? Gouger?
You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus.
Inconsistencies, such as?
To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, there was not present at the start of the trial this morning.
Unfortunately, Lord Von Zieks, no one is able to corroborate your claims.
That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut.
Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not.
Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things.
What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Let me take a look, see at the evidence. But first, let me save. Is there anything else unusual? What else is unusual? Oh, there's the lab. Oh. What else is unusual then? What the hell is it? Maybe? My lord,
Yes, Counsel?
there is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial.
What?
What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, you little maggot, you'd be better stop me watching your back.
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification.
Gah! This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here?
I shall have to ask you to elaborate, Counsel. Where exactly is this alleged mark you claim to appear at some point during the trial?
A mark. Well, we know blood's there. We know blood's there. What an extraordinary place to find a bloodstain. You would never notice it unless the sky was open as it is now. The fact that there's blood on there, on the frame, it surely has to imply that whoever was bleeding passed through the open skylight, doesn't it? That's blood, isn't it? There's something wrong. Oh, it's just, well, this blood is all obvious, that's all. And yet Von Zieks made no mention of it. I suppose that does seem a little strange. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? Actually, yeah, that is true. He never made any mention of that.
Got it!
If we consider the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom.
Good lord. Yes, I do believe you're correct, Counsel.
Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue.
I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there is at least a possibility that the evidence is fake.
Ah! This trial is over.
Mr. McGilded?
I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now.
You're the defendant.
'Tis over, I tell ye. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, 'tis all nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that the bloodstain is there now.
Well,
And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it had been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Seas. Well, my lord?
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue.
your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Seeks, what is your position?
The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present.
Mr. McGilda's gonna shit a brick.
Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my education. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes, which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now? With all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Yes, my lord. The defense believes... God damn it. Oh my god. My god. The thing is, he could be innocent, he's just taken the wrong measures to set up everything for the defense, where we could have just proved it through what evidence we could have gotten legitimately. And we don't really have any evidence to exactly explain the inconsistencies, so it's hard to say. Yeah, whatever. I already saved. As Mr. McGilda's legal representative, I can't breathe. The air in here is stifling. But I'm this man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say in the situation. I believe the defendant, Magnus McGilded, to be innocent of all the allegations brought against him.
Thank you, counsel.
Here's to you, my Nipponese friend. The most abject closing I have yet to hear in the court of law.
Yeah, this trial does feel all sorts of wrong.
Order! Order!
Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision. You saved one of London's most influential gentlemen, fella. You should be proud of yourself. Here, have this for your troubles. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done. So you have.
What do you mean?
'Tis as the right honourable gentleman so succinctly put it before. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality.
I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of properly, as I said. This thing and Rich are always guilty of something, you... mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park.
Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
I thank you kindly, my lord.
I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth.
Lord Von Zieks.
My lord.
The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place.
My sincerest apologies, my lord.
But wait. When we evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Von Zieks ordered the evidence to be secured.
I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shoulder responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair.
The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
What?
Well, Lord Von Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
Do you mean to tell me that all this is a grand waste of time?
'Tis the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
Magnus McGilded.
Good grief! You've more to say to me, have ye?
Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over.
Well, there's something to be looking forward to then.
I hereby pronounce the defendant Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Not guilty. Let the confetti fly?
Yeah, let the confetti fly? Question mark with fireworks being set off? Are we the bad guys?
I can't believe it!
This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more.
What are you talking about? This man has been cleared. He's innocent.
This feels like a hollow victory, but... With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict, and my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty. Ostensibly, a victory for us.
'18th of February, 5:14 p.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber.
That certainly was a long trial. Yeah, you think? Yeah, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil, and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Mr. Sato, thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection.
Aye, that you did.
Mr. McGill did. Ah, and that girl is with him too.
Well, it seems the stories are true.
Oh? What stories?
About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely.
I heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I have you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything.
What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man then?
I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning.
You're a straight talking fella, auntie. I must say, you had me straight in the head there for once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Ah, 'tis the water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved.
There's only one thing that matters to me.
Oh?
Aye. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and absolute deed. 'Tis grand, is it not?
I suppose it is.
Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay.
It's not that funny.
So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Dirty money. Possibly.
Hara be weest. You're humble people, are ye? You from the east?
But yes.
Well, if you insist. But have this, still and all, you deserve a reward.
Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom.
Into the courtroom?
What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe.
I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry, what inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
They're going to examine it again? Now?
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help when I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain.
And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Whoa, hold on, man, hold on. Oh, what?
Don't move!
I just wanted to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Mr. Strahd, would you mind putting that thing down?
You're a grown-up.
Sorry?
And I hate all grown-ups. There you are.
Oh, there's a different character?
Naughty, running off like that.
Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now?
And take it out with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha! Oh, do you want to play? You won't feed me. Gah.
Oh man, she brought a bigger one. Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor.
But normally smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you had to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke though? No.
I just took my eyes off it for a moment while I was changing into a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
I tell her what's it what? I have no idea what this girl is talking about.
Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must be say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see? I knew you would want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that's what she wants to do. That what she wants is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours.
We'll be leaving now then. Bye bye. I'm sorry for all the fuss.
She was a lively one.
Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too?
Yes, you're right. But where to?
Oh,
We haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
I was originally planning to spend the day in search of lodgings.
But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where you can spend the night.
Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see it through.
I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable.
Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room. Or mansion. Man, our youth will get through our homelessness. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there are more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper of Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on?
What?
Get the fire brigade! Water!
Oh!
Water, quick! What? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already in.
The hell?
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Oh. Who's in?
No. Oh, good God.
Someone's trapped inside.
There's someone in there. Oh. This can't be.
I'm guessing McGilded was in there. Well, fuck. Well, yeah, well, that's unexpected. Well, I guess the legends about the Reaper of Bailey are true. The person who, every defendant in this case ends up dead. We just didn't know whether or not it would be regardless of the fact that they get a not guilty verdict. Shit. And given the fact that we're going to likely be going up against this guy several times, this game is going to be a fucking massacre. So I think. Because if we're going to be facing him in every single trial, there's going to be a pile of dead bodies. Other than the bodies that were already killed before all those murder trials in the future. Oh my god. Well, I'm calling it here, and it's going to be kind of a hassle to upload the VOD because my internet cut out during my Be Right Back session, so that means I have to upload 2 whole parts into my YouTube channel so that I can save the VODs, because Twitch has to, well, it doesn't save the VODs forever, or it does, but it doesn't save it visibly on the YouTube channel. They just have it in their own private archive for some reason. I don't know why they just can't, you can't just keep the VODs on your Twitch channel indefinitely until deleted or something. But yeah. Yeah, that is really odd. Because it's like, oh, you can have it for like, 7 days as a non-affiliate, but it has to go. And they still end up keeping the footage of the VOD in their private archives, and so I'm like, what's the point of hiding it then? At least that's what I've heard anyway. Yeah. So yeah, farewell for now. And hopefully the case isn't going to be as, well, frustrating to deal with. The next one, that is.